channel we like to talk about TV, films and comics, and today we're going to talk about some TV. Talk about White Lines, a series on Netflix. This is about a young woman played by Laura Haddock who goes to Ibiza 20 years after her brother went missing. Turns out her brother was dead, because they find her body and that's what triggers her to go back to Ibiza. She meets up with her brother's gang of friends and tries to uncover the mystery behind his death. It's about 10 episodes long. The episodes are about 45 minutes in length to an hour. The only other actors that you'll recognise are probably the English ones. There is a lot of Spanish actors in this and they are very good. Particularly the guy who played Boxer, one of the main characters, called Nuno Lopez, or Lopez, I don't know. He's probably one of the main stars of it, other than Laura Haddock's character. I think it's a good series to watch. Certainly if you were into sort of dance music and you grew up and went to sort of school or sixth form at the peak of the sort of Ibiza craze in the late 90s to early noughties, then you'll recognise a lot of the sort of people and things that they're talking about. If not, you might just like this as it being a sort of mystery show to watch. The big problem it's got, though, is that the main character is totally unlikable and she's not a nice person. It's not that she's sort of horrible to people, but she's incredibly selfish and she has no regard for what her actions will do to other people. Now you might say, well, that's a realistic character because ultimately people are selfish and people tend not to have any regard for what they do to other people, but she properly ruins people's lives by taking rash decisions. You find out through the writing that she's got some psychological issues, and I think that's the whole point, is that that's her character. You're not meant to like her, she's merely your sort of ticket into this world. And you do end up feeling sorry for the other characters. The chap Boxer, he's the best character, he's the best actor in the show, and you almost wish that it was more about him, but then it might be one of those funny things where if it was more about him, you probably wouldn't like him as much because he'd dominate the screen too much. There's good plotting and pacing throughout it. I've never felt that any of the episodes were sort of filler material. I say it's the kind of show that I think if you like it, you'll like it, but if you haven't got into it by say episode 3, then you aren't going to like it much. Daniel Mays does a good job in this compared to the comedy element he was trying to do in that, was it Code 404 on Sky, which was just awful. I think check it out. It sets itself up for a second series, but I don't think you want to see a second series of it because it would feel sort of tacked on a bit forced. The only other comment I got on it is I had no real sense of what time had passed in the show. There's things that happen and people that turn up and leave, and one of the characters has a severe car accident and seems to go from being in a hospital with spinal injuries to being in a wheelchair within a very short space of time. I just couldn't get my head around it. Maybe I missed them saying how long it had been between those things occurring, but it seemed very quick in the course of the show. Otherwise, yeah, White Lines, if you've got nothing else to do and you want some sort of British drama with a sort of Mediterranean edge, check it out. Let me know what you think about the series. Comments below if you've got any views on it. Otherwise, please feel free to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.